Hey guys, this is Miss J here from the J Lounge, here to bring you guys another great episode. Of course, you guys know the J Lounge is a celebrity based podcast show where we talk with celebrities about various topics and discussion. I am very excited to be introducing my next guest. He is a filmmaker, he is a cinematographer, he is just an all round triple threat, and he is here to talk with us today, and I cannot wait to pick more of his brain, learn more about him. Everyone, please give a very warm welcome to Gino Payne. Hi, Gino.
How's it going?
It is going great. How's it going with you?
I'm doing good. Glad to be here with you.
I'm so glad you are here too. I understand you are a busy man, so I appreciate you taking your few times to be here with us today. So I appreciate that. I'm gonna go ahead and fire the first question at you, Mr. Gino. What began your passion for filmmaking?
I mean, I think myself, like a lot of other young filmmakers, were inspired by the films that we were watching. Disney, obviously. You specifically, I remember watching The Lion King, and I remember watching um, Pocahontas, and I remember watching these films and just thinking, wow, like it stretched my imagination. It's strange because I also remember watching a film that totally wasn't a movie that was made for kids, but it was still very good. It was Tommy Lee Jones and Volcano. It's a very old movie,
Oh
not
yeah.
necessarily very old, but old considering. Yeah, I just remember thinking, wow, like how do you make this if this isn't real? There's lava going down the street. There's like a million firemen everywhere. Like how did they do this? And so yeah, and from that point, the curiosity, the seed was planted, even if it wasn't realized what kind of plant it was. It was planted that this was a worthy cause and a worthy goal.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. That's actually a kind of brings me to my second question. As a filmmaker, what stories are you interested in telling?
Yeah, I'm interested in those stories that stretch the imagination. I think a lot of what we run into in life that creates problems is communication, and a lot of that happens because we are unwilling or unable to imagine another person's perspective or point of view or a different idea or a different scenario than what immediately popped into our brain. So I'm just always very interested in imagining what could possibly explain or what could possibly be or what could possibly happen. And so it oftentimes end up being things that are not necessarily set in our time or in our world. So more epic fantasies, more sci-fis. I am interested in historic tales as well. But again, things that don't necessarily exist in the current world.
Yeah, I love that. And I agree with you. Um, I think we definitely need to learn more about each other's perspectives more um, instead of, you know, um, kind of just being more a little bit closed off. I think, if we have more of a standing of each other's perspectives, there's a lot we can learn from each other, as people. And, you know, so I definitely agree with that.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. Going on to number three, describe your filmmaking style. Now, I know each filmmaker kind of has their own little style of how they do their films.
Yeah, I mean, being in primarily independent filmmaker, I mean, I work on a few studio projects as well throughout the course of a year, but most of those are sort of me coming in as a technician, not necessarily one of the directors or producers. But being an independent filmmaker, most of what we do is sort of limited in budget and funds. So you often are skipping a lot of processes. You're skipping sometimes even things down to like the storyboard. You're skipping uh, a lot of rereads and stuff like that with the cast,
Mm-hmm.
a lot of workshops that you would normally do. So I like to describe my style as fluid, because
Ooh.
ultimately I like to work with. I don't really want to move forward in a project with a talent or an actress or an actor that I don't feel fully understand And then when we get there, there really, I'm doing a lot of listening. It's more or less, what is this character feeling? What is the motivation here? Because at that point, we're already on the same page. I think a lot of directors I've seen, and not to say that it's incorrect or inappropriate, but a lot of directors are giving new redirection on set. And for me, you know this character more than I do at this point. Is this is what you've been studying, and so with that, you have to have someone who takes the craft very seriously and has the ability to handle that. So whether that's their skill set or their experience, whatever that is, that they can handle that. The other thing is, again, even down to the technicians, I don't, people that we're working with, from hair and makeup to wardrobe, set design, these are people that I feel like I can walk onto set and say, okay, what are we doing here?
Hmm.
Because we've talked so much in ad nauseum about what this world is and what this space is supposed to give you and what this energy is supposed to be for this particular scene, that they are now in control, and that I am just simply bridging all of the different departments and different skills together into a seamless picture. So on set, it's very fluid, very everyone's very involved in what's happening on screen.
I like that. I like how you described yours feeling like it's fluid, because everything has to flow together, to the actor, to the film, to the hairstylist, to the production, everything. I get what you mean when you say that. I do. Because I
Right.
watch films where, not the actor might not necessarily flow with how the character's supposed to be, down to the, to the set, down to the production, down to the, yeah, I've watched movies like that. And it's like, it's not really flowing well as. So,
Yeah, I've seen a number of films, um, and we all see them. I mean,
right, of course.
where there's films where, I was talking to one of my buddies. I was like, I know some guys, we're talking about a guy making a music video, and it's like, look, there are narrative music videos out there, but um, essentially, the main thing you're dealing with when you're transitioning from making a creative piece of art like a music video into making a film is that the way one scene ends and transitions to another must flow, and the way the story arcs and the whole thing must be cohesive. Whereas,
Yes.
most of the times, I mean, there are levels of abstractness to a film, but you don't want to be so abstract that your viewer is just completely thrown and has no idea as to what the idea was, and they're committing an hour and a half, sometimes 2 hours to watching this. They certainly want to walk away with some sense of knowing and direction as to what they just watched.
I agree. I agree. And I think, yeah, I think one of my favorite, definitely favorite films that kind of flows everything really well, construction wise, to the set, to the, is definitely kind of torn between, um, oh, what was that Christopher Nolan film? Oh, it's one of my favorite ones. And now I just blanked on the,
Yeah.
oh, oh goodness. It's the one with Leonardo DiCaprio. I know he's in like a bunch of his films, but
Are you?
they're thieves kind of stealing people's minds.
Oh, you mean Conception? Inception.
Yes.
Inception.
Yes.
Inception. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, that was really well done. Yeah. I mean, and he's done some amazing stuff. Uh, you just you can't you can't you know Christopher Nolan and Ridley Scott, and those I put those two guys kind of in the same vein, that you know these guys, they're in it for the details, and that is exactly what makes a film real to the viewer.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I agree with you on that. I agree. Going on to the number 4 question. You have your own little production company called 3060 Films. Could you tell the J audience a little bit about it?
So yeah, 360 Films is a production company. We are based in Las Vegas. We have studio space out in LA that we operate in as well. But essentially, we create film. I mean, if we get the script and we like it, we have partners and resources and companies that we partner with to create these films and bring them to life. So essentially, I tell people all the time, and they're like, "How do I get my film made?" I'm like, "Well, send me the script. If I like it, I will make it. And if I am not a big fan of it, I'll forward it on to another filmmaker who might um, be interested as well." I mean, with respect
Of
to the
course.
film budgets, films are, can range anywhere from $200 million and more. So, I mean, if you're making a film about landing on Mars and building a new world, I mean, it's probably not going to be the easiest thing to make as an independent film, but we're not afraid of that.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, awesome. So any inspiring young filmmakers, if you got a solid script, send it over and you'll check it out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love my
That'd be cool.
I love my writers. It's one of the crafts that I respect.
Hmm.
I mean, how could you not? It's the bones of what we do.
Right.
Again, going back, you can shoot a bunch of pretty stuff, but then again, what is it? Without a great story. And so,
So agree.
without my writers, I am not necessarily a writer. I write about what I'm passionate about. But essentially, I love those pure writers who can just bounce from pillar to post and create these worlds and these stories and these characters with so much depth and backstory. I just, you know, if you got a great script, you got a great idea, get it on paper and make sure you start pushing it.
Yeah. Yeah. And I agree. I agree with the need a great story. I mean, anybody can fill a movie with pretty people and visuals and of course, special effects. But if you don't have a great story, if you don't have why should I care about this character? What's this character going through? Why is this character going through it? That to keep me solid into the movie, then yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, totally agree. Going on to the next question here. I want to make sure my audience, Mr. Gino, I want to make sure they follow you and your work and they keep up with it up to date. Where are you on social media?
So I mostly on Instagram. You can find me at Sir_Gino. So that's SIR_GINO. That's a lot of sort of my daily riggings of what I'm doing and having fun and making movies and creating magic. And then uh, same you can find me at Gino Payne on Facebook. Um, I think my Twitter is still the old 360i network. 360 the numbers and then I the word network. But yeah, mostly Instagram. You can find us there, and that'll kind of lead you to all the rest of the stuff.
Oh,
We have a website.
uh-huh.
It's 360films.us. Um, and again, like I said, most of that's a very square picture of what we do. If you really want to get the nuts and bolts, get us
Mm-hmm.
off. Yeah.
All right. So I hope everyone listening in follow Mr. Gino on all his social media, and of course, follow 360 Films as well, so you guys can get the full picture of his work and everything. So make sure you guys do that. I highly encourage, because I'll be doing so myself. So, anyways, going on to the next question. What future projects are you involved with that you can give a little dish about to the J Lounge audience?
Yeah, I mean that's the key part, right? That we can give a dish about. So,
Right. That's why I always put it that you can dish.
so I mean, there's a couple studio projects that we're excited about, but can't talk about those. So we'll talk about the things that I can, and which is essentially um, the. I mean, we're working on an amazing script with a producer named Devin Tier. He is based out here as well, and essentially he kind of put this project together on his own with the help of the writer. It's called Kill or Be Killed, and we expect by this time next year we'll be ready to pump out the feature-length project. We're going to be knocking out the short here by the end of this year, and we got some big parties involved with that. So I expect some big things from that, as well as we're doing a magic show with David
Ooh.
Sharif. Yeah, and so again, we're big in the epic fantasy world, so we'll be making a lot of cool things happen visually on screen. But most of the magic will be left to him. So we're doing that. That's with Team No Sleep and the guys over at iFocus Media. And then also at 360 Films, we're still developing a script that I don't want to say too much, but essentially, this is a project that is very relevant to today. It's done in a way that can be digested by anyone, and it's a love story, but it's a tragedy, and it's very relevant to the current climate of our social state here in America.
Ooh. Oh, I'm excited to hear more about that. That sounds like a game changer.
Oh yeah, yeah. We
Ooh, yes. Make sure you keep me posted because I want to keep up with that.
oh yeah, we'll do. I'll keep you up to speed and yeah.
Awesome. I'm excited. I'm super excited. All right. Just got a couple more questions there for you, Mr. Gino. Coming up to our number 7 question. What goals do you hope to accomplish in your filmmaking career?
Yeah, as much as honestly, so at this point, you know, I'm in love with filmmaking in the art.
Mm-hmm.
So every day is creating more art and creating different forms of art and growing, scaling what we're doing is the goal. But yeah, I mean, as much as I love being an indie filmmaker, I can't wait to treat my team the way they're supposed to be treated.
Mm-hmm.
So we want to grow and scale what we're doing, and maybe get some more studio projects coming down the pipeline for my company itself. And then again, everyone's got their eyes on the little gold statue, and so I'm no different. Um, we're not here per se for that, but that feels great. I imagine, and so yeah, I mean, we're just all about sort of growing it and telling the stories that we want to tell. And one film that I have called Son of Sheba, or rather Half Untold. Son of Sheba was a short film, but Half Untold is the full series of this from these scripts. Is one of the big goals that we have. We want to tell this story. It's everyone knows the story of King David and Solomon. I mean, King David, son of Solomon. I'm sorry, King Solomon, son of David, and his affair with the Queen of Sheba, Makeda. But no one really knows kind of what happened with her. But no one really
Mm-hmm.
talks about what kind of happened with her when she left to return to her home country. So, so we have full series script that we've been developing and we've been working on. We've had conversations with the big guys that you would think of when you talk about scripts and series, but so far nothing. But that doesn't mean that we stop. So we're still working on it, and we're hoping that's one of our big goals is to be able to get that thing done and get that story told, because it is the kind of story that will inspire imagination and inspire people to dream and what was. There's a little bit of history in it too. I mean, it's an epic fantasy, but it's also historical, only to the extent that we know these people existed, but there just wasn't a lot more after that known about them.
Right. Oh, wow. All of that sounds incredible. As yeah, yeah. I cannot wait to. Is the Sonoshiba? Is that out now?
Sonoshiba is in festival. It will be leaving the festival market in 2 months. So within the next 2 months, we'll be posting on all of our channels how to watch it. And so it is a story. Again, it's one of those stories where you see a couple things that you just don't see. You see a story about an African story that's centered around. It's not centered around blood diamonds or poverty or slavery or jail or injustice. It's a story that's centered around a queen from Africa who rose to power. If you combine a Game of Thrones and Scandal into one film, this is essentially what it is. Into one series, that is what it is. It's the most powerful man in the world who fell in love with a Nubian queen, and essentially he wasn't supposed to be in love with her. It's set in 950 BC, so 3,000 years ago. And so yeah, it's a beautiful story. Obviously, a beautiful atmosphere and beautiful wardrobe and landscapes and accents and just everything.
Oh, wow. Definitely keep me posted on that because I want to watch that film. That sounds just incredible. I am like hooked here. So
Yeah, let's do it. We'll
yeah,
make it.
keep me hooked because I want to know more. I actually want to see the film. That sounds, you're right. That's something that's definitely different. Most of the African movies I've seen like that is always based on blood diamonds and poverty and all that kind of stuff. So to take a break and see something different and refreshingly new is I'm hooked. So for
Well,
sure.
we got it for you. So
Thank you. I'm excited. Alrighty, coming up to our last three questions on number 8. Name 3 filmmakers you look up to and why.
oh, that's hard.
He said,
Three, only
"Oh,
three.
that's hard."
So if I had to name only three, or uh, well, okay. So I'll name four because these are my four that I keep.
Okay.
Um, so Michael Bay, just by nature of coming up through the same sort of process that he did through the music video world and just kind of creating like the promo content, the commercials. Yeah, Michael Bay for sure. Michael Bay, he, we both like to blow stuff up. I mean, he does it obviously at a much larger level. And so I love. I'm a bit of a pyromaniac, so so we relate in the action film and flipping the car and making it happen, making it big and crazy. I had to accept that about myself because it was pointed out to me. And then Ridley Scott,
Oh, yep.
I just love the choices of that he takes on and the execution. Um, Antoine Fuqua, I love the body of work from. I mean, no one will ever explain to me how well he did Training Day good enough. I mean, Training Day was just amazing. And then, of course, everyone knows the gold standard, Steven Spielberg. So yeah, yeah. So, but of those four, I think they all bring something very, very different to the table. And those are sort of the filmmakers that I look up to.
Love it. Those are great actors, great directors, really great directors. I've always been a really huge fan of Ridley Scott and Michael Bay. He created the Bad Boys in Transformers. How could you not appreciate him for So yeah, I can dig it. I can definitely dig it. Now, Mr. Gino, name 3 actors you would love to work with and why.
Hmm. So number one is easy because we talked about Son of Sheba and Half Untold, and if we could just get Condola Rashad locked in, Condola, if you're listening, sign the letter of intent, and we're gonna make the most amazing that you could have imagined.
Mm-hmm.
I her mom was everyone's mom, and she shared her with the world. And Felicia Rashad, we're talking about.
Yep.
And so her daughter is as graceful and as elegant as she is, and I really look forward to working with Condola. Um, I love Meryl Streep. I can't
Yes.
I can't imagine having her as a muse. But yeah, and I also imagine that we wouldn't be able to audition her. She definitely audition us. She'd be like, "Who are these guys?" So and then John David Washington. Um,
Yes.
so I mean, come on, like it's like I was thinking, man, that it would have been so great to get the action Denzel. And now, maybe that window is closed a little bit, and then boom, it's like, hold on, we get another chance to have him. So, obviously, he's his own man, but just like Felicia Rashad, just like Condola Rashad, I mean, you just kind of get one for our generation. So I'm excited about those three.
Mm-hmm. Yes, John David Washington. He is making his father proud, creating his own little space, his own little career. It is, I love it. I love watching both of them in any film. Honestly, I've been a Denzel Washington fan as well as everybody else for like years. So to see that his son is just as talented as him, I was just like, yes, cool. This generation is saved in acting wise. So I am super happy about that. And oh yes, and Cornelia Rashad, you said?
Yeah, Condola. Her name is
Condola.
Condola Rashad. Yeah, she's
Yes, she's also
yeah.
a good one too. Yes, 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 yes. So I love your picks. Those are amazing picks.
Thank you.
All right, Mr. Gino, coming up to the last question for you. What are some of your passions outside of filmmaking?
Um, I like most Americans. I'm a huge football fan, so I love. So and here's the part that people won't like. I'm a Patriots fan, so yeah,
Oh!
so I'm a Patriots fan, and now we have Cam Newton, and we're still rocking and rolling, and so let's do it, and I love fashion, something I've always been into, and I love just kind of being a part of like seeing and creating fashion trends, creating fashion products. And then I love to eat, so food. Like, come on, I'm from Georgia, so food
He
definitely.
said, come on, I'm from Georgia, so love it.
Yeah.
Love it, love it, love it. Oh, those are awesome. Of course, I love food too, and I'm a huge fashion fan as well. As for football, I am actually from Seattle, so we are the Seahawks. So, yeah, yes. I unfortunately I am in the Seahawk town, and they don't want to hear the word Patriots.
Yeah, it's fine. We've lost our fair share. Sometimes you win them, sometimes. Hey, you guys just beat us like last week though, so you know, you know. I mean, granted, that's not the Super Bowl, so you're not even.
Had to take the personal shot. Had to take the personal shot.
It's football, so it gets real really quick when you start talking.
It does. It really does. Family and family members. It doesn't matter if you're on a different football team. Then yeah, it's gonna be awkward.
Yeah.
Uh, Mr. Gino, it has been an absolute pleasure talking to you. I really appreciate you giving me your time, and I am super excited for your upcoming projects. Like I said, keep me posted because I want to be in the know, and I definitely want to check out these films that you got coming on.
Absolutely. What a pleasure. Thank you so much for inviting me, and I look forward to supporting the JO Lounge along its journey.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. We appreciate my audience will appreciate that as well. So thank you. Of course, you guys know I am your hostess with the mostest, Miss J, here to bring you guys another great episode of the J Lounge. I want to thank my special guest, Mr. Gino Payne, one more time. And of course, I want to encourage everyone listening, make sure you go follow him on social media. Make sure you go check out his website, 360 Films. And make sure, of course, you guys keep up with his upcoming projects that are coming out as well. You're going to want to see them, and you're going to want to be, you're going to want to know when they're coming out and everything. So make sure you guys keep up to date with that. But until then, everyone, thank you guys for listening in. I will be back with another episode. Until then, I hope everyone has a beautiful day. Bye.